特别高的弹幕，我们和大家来分享分享。因为这部剧其实很多人都说是特别适合消暑的剧啊，因为现在天气越来越热了，然后呢，看着我们的清江每天开开心心，而且是一种清洗放松的感觉，所以说很多弹幕也特别好玩。比如说其中有个弹幕就说是我们的雷修远偷袭，反手给了一个饭撒，脸颊比心。我们有看到那个吗？
这样
偷袭。
脸怎么那么低呀、每次都要笑。
看吧，你们认为自己在这个小分队当中是一个什么样的担当，好不好？龙龙，你觉得雷修远是一个什么担当呢？
我觉得修远应该是一个武力担当吧，因为我觉得他上大号的时候，就是成为魔尊的时候，不是上大号，是成为魔尊的时候是非常法力高强的。虽然就是目前还在成长当中，但是足以保护小分队了。
是的，切换大号的时候就会很不一样。
对，切换大号的时候，
哎，顶级精灵跟就是不一样啊。
精灵跟。
好的，接下来小军，你觉得呢？我们江离飞是一个什么样的担当？
江离飞，我觉得他应该是一个主义担当。就是你知道小棒槌跟他师傅从小不是混迹江湖嘛，然后脑袋就会比较灵光，然后鬼点子很多。
是小灵光啊，主意的啊，
鬼点子很多。
鬼点子很多，所以现在一个是武力担当，一个是主意担当。接下来呢，夜夜特别高的弹幕，我们和大家来分享分享。因为这部剧其实很多人都说是特别适合消暑的剧啊，因为现在天气越来越热了，然后呢，看着我们的清江每天开开心心，而且是一种清洗放松的感觉，所以说很多弹幕也特别好玩。比如说其中有个弹幕就说是我们的雷修远偷袭，反手给了一个饭撒，脸颊比心。我们有看到那个吗？
这样
偷袭。
脸怎么那么低呀、每次都要笑，你就是最捧场的一个。以后就是出席很多活动都带你。
哎呀，
行，我很捧场，行，真的很搞笑。我每次刷的那种切片就会觉得很可笑。
所以我们那个龙龙要不要现场还原一下这个反手偷袭，就是一个脸颊比心，好不好？
哦，其实这个反手偷袭这个后面的这个习惯性动作，其实是我本人的动作。我会觉得尴尬的时候，我就会揉揉眼睛，挠挠头，弄弄鼻子，对，就比个心。尴尬的
行，所以哎呦我天，这家伙你小毛出笑啊，
太捧场。
哎，你们根本不懂有多好笑。
算了，别闹了。
别闹了。
你看，在你刚刚这个偷笑的过程当中，我们龙龙又悄悄的给大家比了个心，你看。
真的吗？
其实我刚刚没有看到，能不能再比一个？
正在比，正在比中。
哎呦，
太帅了！
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 而且其实龙龙在里面有特别多很微妙的那种小表情啊，又呆萌又可爱，还挺反差的。
来，对，大家拿手，先拿手，先拿这，小人。
哎，
听耳的声音，
该不会是夜夜回来了吧？
应该是他。
The warm atmosphere was immediately felt from the early moments of the live broadcast of Xiang's drama promotion. As one of the fans who followed the event from beginning to end, I felt how all the players were present not only to introduce their drama, but also to build closeness with the audience through casual chat, spontaneous jokes, to various games that made the live atmosphere feel so alive. The main spotlight is certainly on Song Wei-long and Jingyi, who appear in the lead roles. However, they do not perform alone. The presence of other players makes the atmosphere more complete, like a team that has really gone through a long journey together during the filming process. The live opens with a warm greeting to the audience before each performer introduces their character. Song Wei-long introduces himself as Lei Shuyuan, a powerful figure who slowly grows into an important character in the course of the story. Shortly afterwards, Jingyi greets fans as Zhang Lifei, a character who hails from Qingqiu and has a background as a cultivator. Other actors also take turns introducing their respective characters so that viewers who are new to the drama can understand the position of each character in the story. From the beginning, the host directly invited all the players to discuss team dynamics in Xiang. The simple question of which role best describes their character develops into an interesting conversation. Song Wei Long described Lei Shuyuan as a figure who assumed great responsibility. According to him, the character has the power to protect those around him even though he is still in the process of developing. That view also gives the viewer an idea of Lei Shuyuan's character's journey that relies not only on fighting ability, but also a sense of responsibility towards his comrades. Jingyi then gave a different point of view regarding Zhong Lifei. He describes his character as a figure who relies more on intelligence and the ability to think quickly. The character grew up in an environment that made him have a lot of ideas and strategies when facing various difficult situations. The explanation made the audience understand more and more why Zhong Lifei was often a figure who was able to find a way out when conflicts began to heat up. Meanwhile, other cast members complete the discussion by describing their characters as team supporters and figures who become the encouragement of the group. Jokes after jokes began to appear when one of the players referred to himself as the person in charge of finances, because his character was the richest prince. The simple sentence immediately invited laughter from the entire studio and made the live atmosphere more fluid. As a fan, moments like this feel very fun because they show the relationship of the players who are so familiar off-screen. They respond to each other's answers without seeming awkward. There is no formal impression of excess. Instead, the entire cast seemed to enjoy every minute of the show as if they were hanging out with old friends. The host then brought the conversation to the filming experience, especially for Song Wei Long, who is starring in the fantasy drama Xianxia for the first time. This topic became one of the most interesting parts because many fans were curious about what it would be like to play a character with so many visual effects scenes. Song Wei Long revealed that playing in a fantasy drama requires a very strong imagination power. During the filming process, many scenes were done without visual effects, so the actors had to imagine their own light, strength, and various moves that would later be added through the post-production process. The experience actually became something very fun for him because since childhood he did like fantasy-themed spectacle. That fondness helped him more easily build confidence when playing Lei Shuyuan. The explanation made many fans understand why Song Wei Long's expressions in various scenes felt so convincing. Behind the scenes, it takes a high imagination so that every movement looks natural, even though when filming there are no visual effects at all. The discussion then shifts to the emotional side of Lei Shuyuan's character. Instead of just seeing him as a powerful and authoritative demon lord, Song Wei Long actually viewed the character as a person who harbored deep sadness. According to him, Lei Shuyuan actually just wanted to live a normal life. But fate kept bringing him to face curses and various burdens that made a simple life feel like an unattainable luxury. It gives fans a new perspective. Behind the cold and charismatic appearance, Lei Shuyuan turned out to be a character who was constantly fighting against his own fate. That explanation made many viewers understand even more the layers of emotion built up throughout Chen Xiong's story. Soon it was Jingyi's turn to discuss Zhong Lifei's character development. He explained that he liked every phase of the character's journey. While still living with the master, Zhong Lifei grew up to be simple, free, and very honest with himself. After entering the academy, his life changes because he begins to meet many friends who bring warmth as well as a sense of belonging to a new family. According to Jingyi, each stage of Zhong Lifei's life had its own charm. No phase is better than the other because the whole experience forms the character that the audience finally knows today. The explanation showed how Zhong Lifei's journey was built gradually and developmentally. In addition to discussing the main character, the players also talked about supporting characters who have their own motivations and obsessions. They deliberately did not reveal too many details because they wanted the audience to discover the development of the story themselves when following the next episodes. It was precisely this curiosity that further strengthened the enthusiasm of fans during the live. The atmosphere again turned more relaxed when the host read out various funny comments from the audience that circulated on the internet. One of the comments that attracted the most attention called Song Wei Long a very entertaining figure because he had many spontaneous habits that unintentionally made fans laugh. Instead of feeling embarrassed, Song Wei Long laughed at the comment. He explained that some of the small gestures that are often done, such as wiping your face or nose when you feel awkward, are actually just natural habits. However, it is precisely this simple habit that has been noticed by fans to the point of becoming a joke on social media. The moment showed another side of Song Wei-long that was much more relaxed than his charismatic image in the drama. The laughter of the players broke out many times as they teased each other every time a funny comment was read by the host. As a fan who watched the broadcast live, the early part of the live really felt like an event to gather with Qian Xiang's big family. Not only discussing the drama's story, the players also showed their warm, humble, and humorous original personalities. That naturally built chemistry is what makes this live promotion feel more alive than just a regular promotional event. Entering the middle of the live session, the atmosphere turned more emotional when the host began to invite all the players to recall a number of scenes that had attracted the attention of the audience since Qian Xiang aired. Various snippets are played on large screens, while players are asked to provide responses to the moments that fans talk about the most. The first trailer shows Lei Shuyuan and Zhang Lifei's journey when entering the academy. The scene shows how the two characters have a life background that is both filled with suffering, although with different stories. Upon re-watching the scene, the atmosphere of the studio that was previously filled with laughter slowly changed to a calmer one. Song Wei-long admitted that whenever he looked back on Lei Shuyuan's journey, he always felt sympathy for the character he played. According to him, behind the figure that looked strong, Lei Shuyuan actually shouldered a wound that was not light. He must continue to face various trials without ever really having the opportunity to enjoy a simple life. That view made many fans again remember that the character is not only a great warrior, but also a young man who grew up with various burdens of life. Jingyi also gave a no less touching response about Zhang Lifei. He sees the character as a figure who since childhood has been forged by various difficulties and is used to hiding pain behind a cheerful attitude. When footage of Zhang Lifei's past was screened, many viewers in the comments recalled the character's emotional journey to survive and grow into a stronger person. As a fan who followed the live broadcast, I felt that this moment became one of the most memorable parts. The players not only comment on the scenes played, but also show how they really understand the emotions of each character. Their explanation allows the audience to see a side that may not be immediately visible when just watching the drama. The atmosphere then melted again when the host raised various funny comments circulating on social media. One of the topics that fans discuss the most is the habit of players who often tease each other during the promotion process. Jokes after jokes again filled the studio. Even some players had difficulty holding back laughter when reading the comments of the fans who were so creative. Song Wei-long again became the target of jokes after various spontaneous expressions that he often did were used as material for conversation. Instead of feeling awkward, he laughed at himself. The relaxed attitude makes the atmosphere warmer and shows that the players really enjoy interacting with the fans. Jingyi smiled several times to see the reaction of her colleagues. Although there is not much to say in this section, his relaxed expression shows that the relationship between the players is indeed very familiar. They complement each other without trying to dominate the conversation, so the course of the live feels natural. Not only discussing the moving scenes, the players were also invited to watch back trailers that had been released before the drama aired. The footage immediately reminded everyone of the majestic impression of Qian Xiang's fantasy world. Visual effects, costumes, and various action scenes are again the subject of conversation. Song Wei-long revealed that one of the things he was most proud of was the quality of the drama's production. According to him, the fantasy world built in Qian Xiang managed to bring a broad imagination while still maintaining the emotional side of each character. He felt that the story in this drama not only presents spectacular battles, but also conveys a message of responsibility, sacrifice, and courage. The discussion then shifted to the dialogues that most imprinted on the hearts of the players. Song Wei-long chose one of the sentences that he thought best described Lei Shuyuan's character as a figure who always tried to protect others. For him, the sentence is not just a dialogue in the script, but a representation of the character's long journey that continues to develop throughout the story. He also recalled the process of filming various action scenes that required him to repeatedly use a safety rope to fly or fall from a height. Although tiring, the experience was actually one of the parts he enjoyed the most during the production. The host even reminded that quite a few scenes required Song Wei-long to soar through the air or perform extreme stunts in order to produce stunning visuals. Jingyi then shared about the dialogue she liked most about Zhong Lifei. According to him, many simple sentences actually show the funny and adorable side of the character. He felt that such light parts were a balance in the middle of a storyline full of conflict, so that the audience could still enjoy the character's journey more leisurely. Other cast members also shared their favorite dialogues. Interestingly, most chose sentences that had emotional meaning over dialogue that just sounded cool. It showed that the players really understood the message that Qian Xiang's story wanted to convey. In addition to discussing the drama, the players also had time to invite the audience to continue to follow the development of episodes that will still air. They believe that there are still many mysteries, conflicts, and surprises that have not been revealed. Therefore, they hoped that the fans would remain loyal to support Qian Xiang's journey to the end. Towards the end of the first live session, the hosts began to change the atmosphere to be more relaxed by introducing interactive games that involve all players. Before the game actually starts, the players are already teasing each other and trying to guess who will lose first. Laughter filled the studio again, making the atmosphere that had been emotional turn into very cheerful. As a fan who followed the live broadcast from the beginning, I felt that this section showed the most interesting side of the players. They are able to move from emotional discussions to light jokes without losing compactness. Song Wei-long performed with a calm demeanor but occasionally flashed spontaneous humor. Jingyi brought a cheerful energy that made the atmosphere even more lively, while the other players continued to complement the conversation with comments that invited laughter. The combination of the stories behind the characters, memories during filming, discussion of favorite scenes, and warm interaction between the players made the first session of Qian Xiang's promotional live feel much more than just a regular promotional event. It is precisely through these casual conversations that fans can see the relationships that have been built during the production process, as well as understand the reason why the chemistry of the players feels so strong when they appear on the screen. At the end of this session, the host finally announced that all players will enter the main series of games that have been specially prepared to test their compactness. The announcement was immediately greeted with enthusiasm, because all the players had begun to tease each other and prepare their respective strategies. The game then opened with a series of Liv's most entertaining moments, filled with laughter, hilarious punishments, spontaneous expressions, and natural interactions that made fans fall in love with Qian Xiang's entire cast. Entering the second half of the live broadcast, the atmosphere changed to be much more relaxed. After previously the players shared stories about the characters, the filming process, to favorite scenes, now the host invites the entire cast to participate in a series of games designed to test cohesiveness while entertaining the audience. The first game carried a simple concept, namely that each player must mention something they have or have experienced. Anyone who does not have a similar experience should reduce one finger. Those seemingly easy rules actually resulted in so many spontaneous moments that the entire studio burst into laughter. Song Wei-long became the first player to start the challenge. He confidently connects his answer with Lei Shuyuan's character, making all players immediately involved in the atmosphere of the game. Jingyi then continued with an answer that also pertained to Zhong Lifei's character's experience at the academy. The answer provoked a light discussion among the players because most of the experience was indeed only owned by their characters in the drama. The more the game progresses, the boundary between the real world and Qian Xiang's world feels thinner and thinner. The players answered several times using their character's experience, while on other occasions they used personal experience. That mix makes the game feel unique because the audience seems to see the actors taking turns getting in and out of the roles they play. One of the most entertaining parts occurs when the discussion shifts to the personal lives of the players. The topic of siblings, pets, to everyday habits suddenly became a joke. Jingyi tried several times to maintain her finger count by giving creative answers, while other players immediately teased and questioned the logic of her answers. Instead of turning into a serious debate, the whole conversation was filled with laughter. Even the host several times has to act like a referee to determine whether an answer is worthy of acceptance or not. It is moments like these that make the live feel very natural, because there is no impression that the players are following a certain script. Song Wei-long was also the target of ridicule several times when his answers were deemed too unique. He responded casually while occasionally throwing humor that made the other players laugh again. His calm demeanor became a counterweight amid the increasingly crowded atmosphere of the game. Meanwhile, Jingyi showed another side that is rarely seen off-screen. He performed very competitively, trying to maintain his position throughout the game. When one of his answers is disputed, he does not immediately give up and still tries to give reasons that he considers reasonable. The reaction actually made the entire studio laugh again because the other players responded with various funny comments. The game gets even more exciting when penalties begin to be given to participants who run out of fingers first. The punishment prepared is not something heavy, but the challenge of making various funny expressions in front of the camera. Jingyi became one of the players who had to accept the punishment. Although he looked shy at first, he finally followed the challenge with enthusiasm. The expressions displayed managed to invite cheers from all over the studio. Song Wei-long and the other players couldn't even hide their laughter when they saw Jingyi trying to imitate the various poses that the host asked for. As a fan, this part became one of the most entertaining moments throughout the live because it showed the cheerful side of the players that is rarely seen when starring in dramas with a serious feel. The game then proceeds to a second round with a higher difficulty level. This time the players are free to use personal experience to trap other participants. Topics that arise are increasingly diverse, ranging from hobbies, special abilities, to experiences they have done in real life. Song Wei-long had surprised other players when he mentioned the martial skills he had learned. The answer provoked a brief discussion about the physical exercises that actors often undergo in order to support the action scenes in the drama. On the other hand, Jingyi presents a question related to the ability to play a musical instrument, making the entire cast recall their respective experiences again. Not only that, the discussion about pets has also turned into one of the funniest parts. Each player begins to compare the number of cats they have, complete with a joke about who deserves the most cat lovers. Song Wei-long again became the target of temptation when the answer he gave was considered to be lacking in meeting the rules of the game. Instead of defending himself seriously, he laughed along with other players. The longer the game goes on, the more obvious the chemistry between players. They do not hesitate to tease each other, cut the conversation with a light joke, or give applause when one manages to give an answer that makes the other participant lose a finger. There is no excessive competitive atmosphere. What looks comfortable is precisely because they already know each other during Xiang's production process. After 2 rounds of play are completed, the host invites all players to enter a short question and answer session. In this session, they were asked to answer a variety of quick questions using concise sentences. Despite the simple format, the players still managed to slip humor so that a relaxed atmosphere was maintained until the end of the event. When asked to convey their impressions of Xiang's team, the players chose words that described trust, togetherness, and cohesiveness. Their answers felt in harmony with what had been shown throughout the live. Not only in front of the camera, their relationship also seemed warm when they supported each other and gave each other space to talk. Towards the end of the broadcast, each player delivered a message to the fans who continued to follow Xiang's journey. Song Wei-long revealed that the story of this drama still holds many surprises and developments that have not been revealed. He hopes that the audience will continue to follow the next episodes because the journey of the characters will still present many conflicts and surprises. Other leaders expressed similar expectations. They invite the entire audience to continue to support Xiang and enjoy every development of the story until the last episode. The thanks to the fans became a warm cover, showing that the audience's support meant a lot to the entire production team. Before actually ending the broadcast, the host again reminded the drama's airing schedule as well as the various benefits that viewers can enjoy when following Xiang through his official platform. The entire cast then waved goodbye to the fans who had accompanied them for almost an entire hour. As someone who watched the live from start to finish, I feel like this show managed to show the other side of Xiang's cast. They not only appear as strong characters in the drama, but also as warm, humble, and full of humor when interacting off-screen. Song Wei-long showed a calm and mature charisma when discussing Lei Shuyuan's journey, but at the same time he did not hesitate to be the subject of jokes in the game. Jingyi brings a cheerful energy that keeps the atmosphere alive, while all the other players complete the event with a cohesiveness that feels so natural. This promotional live was ultimately not only a way to introduce Xiang to the audience, but also showed the friendship that had been established during the production process. It was that warmth that made fans even more convinced that the chemistry seen on the screen was not something far-fetched, but was born from a good relationship that was really built behind the camera. No wonder that after the broadcast ended, many fans admitted that they were more enthusiastic about following the continuation of Xiang's story. The journey of the characters is indeed the main attraction, but seeing the cohesiveness of the players in the real world provides a different experience that makes this drama feel closer to the hearts of its viewers.